This is probably why you can't sing with distortion without killing your voice and feeling like you can't speak. I've been singing since 1999 and I've been teaching since 2003. So the first thing to understand about vocal distortion is that it doesn't come from trying to squeeze your throat muscles and trying to sound like you're clearing your voice, which is what a lot of people online are telling you. So scrap that advice, and with the right technique, you'll be able to do this. And I want you, and blessed are the broken, and I beg you. No loneliness, no misery is worth you. Our terror's heart, our cold as ice, it's mine. So the first reason that you're probably finding it challenging to sing with distortion without killing your voice is that you're probably imitating other singers. Now, if you don't know how they're singing with distortion, then it's going to be really difficult for you to be able to recreate that in a safe way. And I actually just avoided using distortion for a really long time because I knew that if I didn't do it properly, that I would hurt my voice. Next thing is a lack of basic vocal technique. If you have no real foundational vocal technique for like healthy vocal technique and singing in the right way, then it's pretty much impossible that you're going to sing with distortion without hurting your voice. Now, of course, there are exceptions to every rule. So the singer of My Chemical Romance, I think his name is Gerard Way. If I've got that right, people will tell me in the comments, so please do. He is a phenomenal singer. He claims to have never had any formal vocal training. It's possible that he may have had a bit here and there, but he says that he's never been to any like ongoing formal singing lessons. But what he did was experimented with his voice and was able to find the right ways. That's very unusual. I wouldn't recommend doing that. He is a super talented musician, songwriter, singer, person, probably. He's probably just a really nice guy, you know, one of those annoying people who's just good at everything. But he is a super talented singer, and it's unlikely that just by experimenting that you're going to be able to use the right techniques without hurting your voice. It's likely that you're using your throat to create these sounds, and we don't actually want to use our throat. We actually use the false chords. So you can Google what the false chords are. They're just above your vocal cords, and it's those that create whistle and it's those that create distortion. So you don't want to be using your actual throat like that is, if you were to do, that's already hurting my throat. If you were to sing like that and for a full song, I mean, you wouldn't use it in a full song, hopefully, but if you were to do that for about a minute and a half within a song, that's really hurt my voice, my throat. You're not going to get through many songs, and if you were doing a set like that, you're going to have no voice the next day. And I know this because I've been in the punk world all of my adult life, and I'm around punk singers all of the time. And now, these days, I do teach punk vocalists. So I'm not teaching them how to sing, although we do exercises like that. I am teaching them to use their voices in a healthy way so that they can sing night after night, gig after gig, and record and go on tour and use distortion and fry and scream and growl without hurting their voices. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to either the pinned comment or the description, because I would love to help you move on in your vocal journey and use your voice in a healthy way so that you can scream at night and talk the next day. Now, I've already touched on this. So the next reason that you're probably finding it difficult to sing with distortion is that you're following the wrong advice. Now, the reason it took me so long was because I went to a classical singer. I had classical training with my lovely singing teacher, Mary. If you've watched any of my other videos, you may have heard me speaking about Mary before. She was a professional opera singer in the Welsh National Opera for all of her professional career, and she was a brilliant teacher. She taught me loads, but because classical singing is so different from contemporary singing and so different from metal, which is where we use distortion a lot, and certainly different from soul singing and gospel singing and definitely reggae, she didn't know how all of these sounds were made because she was a classical singer. Now, I have had people in the comments saying, well, you know, I've been to a classical singer and they were able to teach me. Well, that's great, but most can't. So I went from being classically trained, I was classically trained for 3 years, and then I went into contemporary, and I was singing contemporary music at the same time, but I didn't have the right training, and so I had to change into contemporary voice. So contemporary means anything from jazz onwards: jazz, blues, rock, gospel, soul, country, folk, all of that. You get traditional folk as well, and it's slightly different from pop music, but you get the drift. So if you are not learning with the right people, you're not learning with a contemporary teacher, or you're not learning with someone who is able to sing with distortion healthily, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to understand how it works. So you've got to get the right teacher. So how do you sing with distortion? First of all, learn the foundations, learn the basics, learn to sing in tune. I've heard so many people that just scream and scream and scream and cannot hold a tune. Now, I know for a fact, because singers tell me, that sometimes they're able to sing in tune and it just comes out and they have no idea how that's happened and why that's happened. And most of the time they can't sing in tune. So if you can't even sing in tune, you've got no business trying to use advanced techniques like growl, scream, fry and distortion. Fry isn't actually, it's not actually an advanced technique. Fry is actually a register, but you don't want to add that to melodic sound if you're not sure how to do it. And if you can't even sing in tune, you're not going to be able to add it to a melodic sound because it's just going to sound terrible. So learn the basics first. Understand how your instrument works. All right, it would be just like a pianist trying to play flamboyantly but not even able to play the C major scale. You know, that there are some talented people who can just sit at an instrument and just play really, really well. One of my friends, Dave Gravy, we call him Gravy, he's able to pick up pretty much any instrument and just play really, really well. Not everyone has that talent. And even if you do, then it's always a good idea to go back to basics and learn what it is that you're doing so that you can understand it, so that when you try to recreate it again, you know what you're doing. And it's the same with singing, and it's definitely the same with advanced techniques. So to sing with distortion, it's healthy technique first, being able to sing in tune, knowing and understanding how your voice works so that you understand what's happening every time you make a sound, and then we add the fun stuff. So if you're ready to take the next step, then remember to like and subscribe. And if you do want to learn how to sing with distortion properly, healthily, so that you can sing and scream and growl and rasp and fry without killing your voice off, go to the pinned comment or the description, and I'll see you very soon. Stay hydrated. Ciao!